Very good afternoon to everyone. Welcome to Crack Grade B. So here we are back again in this session with part 2 of our MCQs of the chapter Demand and Supply. Okay, so we'll be discussing the remaining MCQs, some of the MCQs of the chapter Demand and Supply, which we have completed already. Okay, so in the last class as well, last Sunday, I think we have discussed around 30 questions of demand and supply. So today I'll be starting from here. All right. So anyone, is the audio clear to you all? Can anyone let me know? Is the audio video clear? Yes? Okay. Shubham Gupta. Earlier there were 150 MCQs in demand and supply, and now all are changed. No, there are lot more. There is lot more to come. It was only on that, in that PDF, that you had 25 MCQs. Okay, Shubham. You still have 150 or 151 MCQs, but the PDF is getting updated, so you'll be provided when the class gets completed, right? So remaining MCQs will be provided today, and remaining MCQs will be provided when the next class happens. Okay, so the number of questions have not been reduced. It's just that you are being provided with the PDF in parts, because the PDF is getting corrected and updated. Is that clear? Number has not been reduced. Number of MCQs is not reduced. So don't worry, okay, rest assured. You will be provided with this PDF today and next PDF in the next class, okay. So let's start. Okay, I'll let you know regarding this, right? All right. So here you have the question. Don't worry, you will get all the questions. No reduction in number of questions. It's just the correction process going on. Okay. All right. So here, this is your question, that suppose the demand for meals at a medium price restaurant is elastic. So here you are provided with the condition that the restaurant is medium priced, not very low, not the prices are not exaggerated, and demand is elastic. So it is responding substantially in response to price changes. If the management of the restaurant is considering raising the prices, it can expect a relatively 1 A, B, C, D, E. What should be the answer? So demand is elastic, restaurant is medium priced, and the management is considering to increase the price. Shubham, 12 ka A, okay. So price is increasing, it is elastic, large fall in quantity demanded. Large fall in quantity demanded. Okay, I would appreciate if everyone participates in the answers, okay. So large fall in quantity demanded would be the right answer, because large fall in demand is not the right one. It is not demand, it is quantity demanded, because price is changing, right. Small fall nahi hoga, because it is elastic, not inelastic. Okay, so this is your right answer here, A. Then we have next question. Point elasticity is useful for which of the following situations? Point elasticity. Also mention the question number which you are giving the answers to. All right. Point elasticity is useful for which of the following situations? You have 3 situations. Where do you use point elasticity? Do you remember the concept of point elasticity? What was the formula of measuring point elasticity? Anyone? It has been done in the class, right? What was the formula of measuring point elasticity? And which among these situations would be better for point elasticity calculation? Yes, let me know the answer of 13th question. upper upon lower or lower upon upper? What upper upon lower? Lower segment upon upper segment? Okay, you will only tell me the answer of this question, alright, because it is application based. You should brainstorm regarding these questions, right? Yes, very good, Shubham. Lower segment upon upper segment. It is not upper by lower, it is lower by upper. So, the point which you have on the demand curve, from that point, the lower segment from that point divided by the upper segment from that point, this we have done, right? So, this is your point elasticity formula. Point elasticity. Suppose this is your demand curve and this is the point. So, this is your lower segment, this is your upper segment. So, it is lower segment divided by upper segment. Clear? Okay. But formula is not sufficient. Formula is not sufficient. You need to apply this. I want all of you to answer this question. I will come to it later if you want. But I want you to answer this question because it is application based. How much understanding do you have of point elasticity would be reflected, right? So, one answer only, 13th ka C, okay. Let's consider it to be right. As for now, I am waiting for other answers as well, okay. We will be coming back to this question. Moving ahead. 14th question. A decrease in price will result in an increase in total revenue. Okay, so here the question is asking if in a certain case price is decreased, okay, so price falls, when will total revenue increases? How do we calculate total revenue? P into Q, right? How do we calculate total revenue? P into Q, price of the per unit of the product and how much units you have sold, right? So, in which case, see here, percentage change in quantity demanded is less than the percentage change in price. Percentage change in quantity demanded is greater than percentage change in price. Demand is inelastic, or consumer is operating along a linear demand curve at a point at which the price is very low and quantity demanded is very high. What is the answer to this question? Question number 14. So, price is decreasing. When will the revenue increase? When quantity sold is more, right? So, first is percentage change in quantity demanded is less. So, it cannot be the case because if price falls, quantity demanded increases. Yes or no? Right? So, if the increase in quantity demanded is very substantial or by a huge amount, then only you will see an increase in the total revenue. So, answer should be the B option. Percentage change in quantity demanded is greater than the percentage change in price. Yes, very good. B is the right answer. Good. Okay. So, here you have B as the right answer. These cannot be the situations. Demand is inelastic. That means that the percentage change in quantity demanded is less than the percentage change in price. So, this cannot be the answer as well. Okay. B is the right answer for the 14th question. Then we have 15th question. 15th. An increase in price, so here you have increase in price, will result in an increase in total revenue. Okay. Is this the same question? No, there was decrease in price. Okay. Increase in price results in increase in total revenue when? Okay. Percentage change in quantity demanded is less than percentage change in price. Percentage change in quantity demanded is greater than percentage change in price. Demand is elastic. So, here the C option is elastic. Then D, consumer is operating along a demand curve at which quantity demanded, change in quantity demanded is very low. What is the answer? Someone is saying B, okay. B is for 14th. What is the answer of 15th? So, here you have increase in price. Okay. Your price is increasing. So, according to law of demand, your quantity demanded should be decreasing, right? Price is increasing, quantity demanded should decrease. but the question is asking an increase in price will result in an increase in total revenue. So it is asking in which situation total revenue will increase. So if in this case quantity demanded is highly elastic, then the total revenue will decrease because quantity sold will get reduced, right? So percentage change in quantity demanded is less than the percentage change in price. Yes, so A should be the answer, because if it changes more than the change in price, that would lead to lesser, very less quantity demanded, and it would reduce your total revenue, because here your price of the commodity is increasing. Okay. All right, moving ahead, question number 16. Demand for a good will tend to be more elastic if it exhibits which of the following characteristics. So here question is asking that among these characteristics, which will be the reason for demand of the good being more elastic or more than unitary elastic or more than one. Okay. So first option which you have is it represents a small part of the consumer's income. More elastic it is asking. Okay. It represents a small part of the consumer income. The good has many substitutes available. C, it is a necessity as opposed to a luxury. Or D, there is a little time for the consumer to adjust to the price change. Shubham Gupta, B, Karan, B. Very good. Yes, B is the right answer. Why? Because good has many substitutes. When a good has many substitutes, it is easy for you to shift from one good to the other in case the price changes. So in that case, demand will be very, very elastic or highly elastic, right? So say even there is an increase of 1 rupee and very close substitute is available to you, you can easily shift to consumption of the other good. So this feature is something which makes demand for good highly elastic or more than 1. Okay, elasticity of demand more than 1. All right, so this is your 16th question. Moving on to the 17th question. Demand for a good will tend to be more inelastic. Here you have more inelastic demand if it exhibits which of the following characteristics. So now your question is asking when would it be more inelastic? Okay, good has many substitutes. Good is luxury as compared to necessity. The good is a small part of the consumer's income or has a small part of the consumer's income. There is a great deal of time for the consumer to adjust to the change in prices. Okay, so here Shubham is saying C and Abhitosh Chauhan D. All right, see, this is an option for confusing you. All right, this is not a factor, it's just manipulation of words to confuse you, right? So C should be the right answer because good has a small part of the consumer's income. What happens is when a particular commodity does not affect your budget, right? When you are spending on something and it is a very little part of your income or your expenditure, change in the price is not going to change the quantity demanded of that product very substantially because it is not affecting your budget. All right. So quantity demanded for those goods is highly elastic, which affects your budget and your income substantially. Got it? That's why here C should be the right answer. Okay. C, 17 ka C. Then 18th question. 18th. Total utility is maximum when? So here it is asking the relation between total utility and marginal utility, which we have done through graphs as well. Total utility is maximum when marginal utility is 0, marginal utility as its highest point, marginal utility is negative, none of the above, or when mu is constant. Yes. What is the answer of question number 18? Let me know, please. Total utility is maximum when marginal utility is constant, 0, negative, or what? You should remember or try to recall that graph given in your PDF. No answers? No idea? Anyone? So no one is sure about this. Okay, current A. Very good. C. This is your total utility curve. Okay, total utility, and this is your, say, marginal utility curve. Okay, so this is your marginal utility curve and this is your total utility curve, right? So this is the relation between total utility and marginal utility. Yes, A should be the right answer. When marginal utility is declining, total utility is increasing. Okay, but when marginal utility becomes 0, total utility is maximum. Here you can see this point. And when marginal utility becomes negative, yes, it also becomes negative because subsequent consumption of units of something might give you negative utility, right? So marginal utility is negative, then total utility starts declining. So this is the relation between TU and MU. By this, your answer should be A. Marginal utility is 0. A is the right answer. Marginal utility is 0. Now, which one is not an assumption of the theory of demand based on analysis of indifference curve? So now, apart from utility approach, okay, cardinal utility approach, we have something in ordinal utility as well. First, let me know the difference between cardinal and ordinal utility. Quickly, difference between cardinal and ordinal utility. We have done the difference between cardinal and ordinal utility, right? Quickly tell me the difference so that we can proceed further with this question. No answers? Alright, so here you have indifference approach, right? So we measure utility through two ways. Karan Yadav, okay. Cardinal utility believes in measuring the satisfaction utils, ordinal, yes, right. So as we have done that, utility has two opinions, right, or points of view. How do we calculate utility? One is the cardinal approach. The proponents of cardinal approach say that you can measure it in terms of utils, in numbers, that this much number satisfaction I get from consumption of this unit. In ordinal utility approach, you say that you cannot measure the utility or satisfaction in numbers, but you can give them preferences, and that's when we have studied the indifference curve analysis or the approach of indifference curve, which says that given the bundle, when bundle of a good is available to the consumer, what is that combination of two goods which provides the same level of satisfaction to the consumer? Say 3 units of one, 2 units of another, same level of satisfaction. So that's how we draw the indifference curve, as we have done this in the class. Now the question is, which one is not an assumption of the theory of demand based on analysis of indifference curve? Indifference curve के basis पे theory of demand का which one is not an assumption? Let's see the options. First, given scale of preferences as between different combination of two goods, diminishing marginal rate of substitution, diminishing marginal utility of money, consumers would always prefer more of a particular good to less of it, other things remaining the same. Which one is the right answer? Yes, what is the right answer here? Which among them is not an assumption while we do the indifference curve analysis? To make the question very simpler, which is not an assumption of indifference curve analysis? Okay, I have made the question direct for you. Answers please, quick. No answers? Isn't it very simple? We have done the indifference curve approach. So in indifference curve, we assume that the preferences are given. That what is your preference regarding the options which you have among the given bundle of product, okay? Diminishing marginal rate of substitution. You have something known as marginal rate of substitution. What is marginal rate of substitution in indifference curve? The rate at which you or say delta y by delta x, okay? So this is your indifference curve, okay? This is your indifference curve. You have, say, at this point you are consuming, here you have apple and here you have oranges, okay? So at this point, if you are consuming, say, 10 units of apple and 2 units of oranges, the satisfaction which these two combinations are providing you is equal to the satisfaction which you are getting at this point, say only 2 units of apple and 5 units of oranges. Are you getting my point? This is your indifference curve. So your satisfaction on this point is same. So given the indifference curve, all points on the indifference curve offer you same level of satisfaction between the different preferences you have offered to the combination of apples and oranges or any other commodity for that matter. Got it? What is MRS? Marginal rate of substitution. To increase more consumption of orange, you need to reduce the consumption of apple. Yes or no? So delta y by delta x, right? To increase this, when you increase the consumption from 2 to 5, you had to reduce the consumption from of apple from say 10 to 2, right? So this is this sacrifice, that how much are you willing to sacrifice, how much units are you willing to sacrifice of good y or apple in this case to consume an additional unit of good x, which is orange in this case. This is your marginal rate of substitution, which is nothing but the slope of your indifference curve. This is something which I have explained in the class as well. Slope of the indifference curve. Now tell me what would be the answer. What is the answer? Okay, let me tell you then, C is the answer here. C, diminishing marginal utility, because this is not an assumption in indifference curve. This is an assumption in cardinal utility approach. If you are able to recall, we have done all the assumptions of cardinal utility as well as of ordinal utility, right? So this is an assumption in the cardinal utility approach and not in the ordinal utility approach. So this is not an assumption, and C is your right answer for question number 19. Okay, 20. Question number 20. An indifference curve slopes downwards, okay, or slopes down towards right, since more of one commodity and less of another results in. What is the answer? More of one commodity, which is commodity X, and less of another, which is commodity Y, results in same level of satisfaction, greater satisfaction, maximum satisfaction, any of the above, none of these. What is the answer of 20th question? Anyone? What is the answer? Let me know very quickly. This is very simple. We have done this entire chapter, right? You should be very handy with these concepts. Karan, okay. So you are saying 20 ka B hoga, greater satisfaction. Okay. More answers? See, the very basic concept, just try, look at your answer. You are saying greater satisfaction. Okay. The basic assumption, basic concept of indifference curve says that at any point, whether you are at this point, whether you are at this point, it offers you same level of satisfaction. This is what indifference curve is. Any point on this curve, be it here, any point on this indifference curve will give you same level of satisfaction. How much are you able to sacrifice of good Y for more consumption of good X is something related to your marginal rate of substitution. Okay. So it is called as marginal rate of substitution, but satisfaction at each point on the indifference curve is always same, similar level of satisfaction. This is the core idea behind the indifference curve. It will only increase or decrease when indifference curve shifts. So if this is your say this is your IC 1 and this is your indifference curve 2. So any point on indifference curve 2 will provide you more satisfaction than any point on indifference curve 1, but not in this case, similar satisfaction, right? So answer cannot be B. Then now tell me which would be the answer? Tell me first. Tell me now which is the answer? B is not the answer. Yes, A. Okay, same level of satisfaction. So be very clear about the basics or concepts. Okay, then the questions will be very easy for you. So same level of satisfaction. Any kind of question is there which is talking about the points on the same IC curve, level of satisfaction would be same. Okay, whatever the difficulty of question is, don't get confused about it. This is the core principle. Yes, you mix two concepts. Okay, no worries, right? So 20, A is the right answer. Moving ahead, 21. Which of the following statements is incorrect? Also read the question carefully. So here you have incorrect. And whenever you are reading the question, if it is in your hard copy, if the question paper which you have is hard copy, just underline these things, incorrect or correct, whatever is being asked. Okay. So an indifference curve must be downward sloping to the right. Convexity of curve implies that slope of the curve diminishes as one moves from left to right. Income elasticity for inferior goods is positive. Total effect of a change in the price of a good on its quantity demanded is called the price effect. Tell me which of these four statements is incorrect? Okay, one answer I have is C. What about the others? Be very quick. Right. So as you can see, these statements, they are very clearly written. So first is an indifference curve must be downward sloping. Nothing wrong in this statement. It is the feature of indifference curve, right? It is always downward sloping from left to right. So true. B, convexity of curve implies slope is diminishing. So as you can see that in one of the features, so we have done all the features of indifference curve. One of the features is that it is convex to the origin, right? Why it is convex to the origin? Because of diminishing marginal rate of substitution, because the slope is declining. Okay. So yes, it is also correct. Then we have C and then we have D, total effect. This is also correct, but income elasticity is incorrect statement because income elasticity for inferior goods is asked. Okay, not for normal goods. In inferior goods, we have seen, I have discussed n number of times with you that when we compare normal goods with inferior goods, there is a difference. Okay, so when we talk about income elasticity, it is positive in case of normal good, but negative in case of inferior goods, because inferior goods have negative relation or inverse relation between income of the consumer and the demand for that product. If income rises, why would you consume lower quality of goods or inferior goods? But if income falls, you will not be able to afford higher quality of goods. Simple logic. Okay, so answer is C. Income elasticity is positive. This is incorrect and incorrect is asked here. Okay, so C is the right answer. Then we have 22nd. Here the question says successive units of stamps collected by a little boy gives him greater and greater satisfaction. So the more stamps this boy collects, the more satisfaction he gets. Okay, this is your question. This is a clear case of what? Operation of law of demand, consumer surplus enjoyed and rare collections, consumer surplus enjoyed in the hobbies and rare collections, exception to the law of diminishing utility, okay, exception to the law of diminishing marginal utility, and none of the above. What is the answer? Yes, correct. More answers I am expecting. Answers please, quickly. Yes. So this is clearly an exception to the law of diminishing marginal utility. It is not the operation of law of demand. Law of demand is something else, okay? But law of diminishing marginal utility says that when you consume an additional unit of a product, or with successive consumption of additional unit of a product, the satisfaction which you get declines. It does not increase, but here the satisfaction is increasing. So it is an exception to the law of diminishing marginal utility. This law fails in this situation, okay? So C is your correct answer. Very good. Then question number 23rd. What will happen in the rice market if buyers are expecting higher rice prices in the near future? So rice market की बात हो रही है and buyers are expecting higher rice prices not in the present but in the future. So read the question very carefully. Now answer this question. Demand for rice will increase and demand curve will shift to the right. Demand for rice will increase and demand curve will shift to the right. Demand for rice will decrease and demand curve will shift to the left. Then you have demand curve for rice will be unaffected as it is necessity, and demand for wheat will increase and the demand curve will shift to the right. What is the answer? What is the answer of question number 23? So this person is expecting, or buyers are expecting, rise in price of rice in future. What should be the impact on the demand? And here we are not saying quantity demanded because this is another factor. So price is not the price available in the market. We are expecting rise or any change in the price in the near future. So it is affecting demand only. It should not be quantity demanded. Okay. Okay, so here we have the answer. One answer is here, 23 ka. You are saying A. Alright. So A is demand for rice will increase and demand curve will shift to the right. Very good. A should be the right answer. Why? Because buyers are expecting high rice prices, not the sellers. Okay. When buyers means consumers. So when you think as a consumer, you have to think according to the law of demand, or even if you don't think according to the law, it automatically applies, right? So law of demand says that when price increases, your quantity demanded will fall. So here price is talking about the future price, or the question is talking about the future price. So when you expect that this commodity will become costlier in the near future, you tend to buy more of the commodity at present, isn't it? This is something which happened with all of us in the corona period. Yes or no? We were buying products and we were indulging in hoarding kind of activities. If we didn't need even, but we were purchasing the products because we were expecting that the supply might not be there or that they become costlier in the near future. Yes or no? Right? Some of you must have witnessed the long queues before the ration shops, in front of the ration shops, or you must have been a part of that queue as well. You might have been. Okay. So here the answer would be A. Demand for rice will increase and demand curve will shift to the right. Okay. Now you have another question with you. In the case of Giffen good, demand curve will usually be, tell me, Giffen good is the case given to you. What will the demand curve look like? Horizontal, downward sloping, vertical, upward sloping? A. Yes, more answers please. Giffen good is provided to you and the demand curve, shape of demand curve, nature of demand curve is being asked. What would it be? Horizontal, vertical, downward sloping or upward sloping? Karan Yadav, B, downward sloping to the right. And someone is saying A as well. Just look at the question again. And before answering this question, tell me, Giffen good is an example of what? Giffen good is an example of what? Isn't it an example of exception to the law of demand? We have done this topic, Veblen goods, Giffen goods, in exceptions to the law of demand. Yes or no? First tell me this thing. Exception to the law of demand. So when the law of demand operates, the demand curve look like this. Price and quantity demanded, right? But this is an exception to the law of demand, which would mean that it would not look like this at least. Agree or not? Yes or no? If you are saying B, then you are saying that law of demand is operating, because only in this case you have a downward sloping demand curve. None of these? Okay. Any more answers? Let's see. If it is horizontal, that means price is constant and quantity is changing. This is not the case, right? Price can also change. So A is not the right answer. Then we have downward sloping. It can also not be the right answer, because it is downward sloping means that law of demand is operating, but Giffen good is an exception to law of demand. Okay, because Giffen goods are what? What are Giffen goods? They are very, very inferior quality of goods. Also, they don't have substitutes, right? So very low quality of goods. So it is also not the answer. Then we have upward sloping to the right. Upward sloping to the right. So if, say, price of these goods increase, this is your upward sloping. If price increases, quantity demanded also increases. And vertical means that you have this demand curve. Okay, so quantity is remaining constant irrespective of any level of the price or any change in the price. Is this case with the Giffen good? Don't you think C should be the answer? Yes or no? Oh, sorry, D. D should be the answer. Upward sloping to the right. Because Giffen good is an exception to law of demand. So what happens is inferior quality of goods. There are certain goods, yes or no? One answer please. Not both of them. Either yes or no can be the answer. Yes. Karan, Bharat, Shubham, anyone? Are you getting this point? So sometimes what happens is, as we have discussed earlier as well, people tend to attach the quality norm to its price. When we see that something is costlier, we consider it that it is of good quality, right? But when it becomes cheaper, we think that because it is cheaper, that's why it does not have a good quality in it, right? That's why it is not a good quality product. So it can be the case that it is upward sloping, because if price increases, then consumer might think that this good is of good quality and not an inferior quality good. So the quantity demanded can increase. Are you getting this point? Yes or no? All right. So D should be the answer here. Then 25th. By consumer surplus, economists mean. What do we mean by consumer surplus? What do we mean by consumer surplus? The area inside the budget line above the price of the commodity, area between the average revenue and marginal revenue curves, difference between maximum amount that a person is willing to pay for a good and its market price, difference between market price and the supply curve. This is directly formula based question. We have done consumer surplus, right? When does a consumer surplus happens? When the willing price is more than the market price or it is less than the market price? So if you are, say, willing to pay 200 rupees for a product and the market price you actually end up paying 300 rupees, that is not consumer surplus, isn't it? If you are willing to pay 200 rupees and you actually pay 100 rupees only, that is consumer surplus, yes or no? What should be the answer then? Excess, yes, excess. So answer, tell me the answer. According to the formula of consumer surplus, which we have discussed in the class. What is the answer here? A, B, C, D? Which one? This is not the answer, right? B should not be the answer. This should not be the answer. So here, difference between maximum amount that a person is willing to pay for a good and its market price. Other things are not even talking about the formula. So that's why C only. And if difference is more, that is your willing price is more than the actual market price, you have a consumer surplus, right? You were willing to pay 300, but you actually paid up 100 only. So 200 is your consumer surplus, isn't it? Got this point? We have done this concept, right? Are you able to recall it? No replies, no response. Please be responsive so that I can understand that you are getting these concepts or not. So next we have question number 26. Which of the following is a property of an indifference curve? So here the question is asking you which of the following is the property of an indifference curve. We have done the properties. Now it is convex to the origin due to diminishing marginal rate of substitution. Then marginal rate of substitution is constant as you move along an indifference curve. Marginal utility is constant as you move on the indifference curve. Total utility is greatest where the budget line cuts the indifference line. Which is the right answer? Tell me. What is the right answer here? Yes, answer to question number 26, please. Simple, very direct question it is, right? No rocket science. कितने questions होंगे आज? I don't know. Might be 36. Around 30, 36, okay? No answers. What is the answer? Which one of them is a property of indifference curve? A is the right answer here because it is convex to the origin due to diminishing marginal rate of substitution. We have done these properties in the classes, right? So we all know that the indifference curve is convex to the origin. This is the shape. So it is convex to the origin, right? And why is it convex to the origin? Because the marginal rate of substitution, which is nothing but the slope of indifference curve, is diminishing. Why is it diminishing, or what does it mean? It means that you are able to sacrifice less of y in order to consume more of x. Now my question to you is, why are you willing to sacrifice less of less of good y in order to consume more of good x? Why? Any idea? No? See, because you are consuming more of good x, so here diminishing marginal utility law is applicable. As you consume more, your satisfaction gets reduced. So you don't want to consume more of x, but since you are giving up the units of good y, which is there on the y axis, so less consumption, you are desiring more consumption and more satisfaction from there, from that unit or that consumption, right? So your willingness to sacrifice the units of good y becomes less than your willingness to consume an additional unit of good x. Is that clear? That is why we have a negative marginal rate of, or negative or declining marginal rate of substitution. Is it clear? So this is your right answer. Then we have question number 27. When economists speak of utility of a certain good, they are referring to what? Demand for the good, usefulness of the good, expected satisfaction derived, or rate at which consumers are willing to exchange one good for the other. ये तो बहुत सिंपल क्वेश्चन है, इसका तो बताओ आंसर. It is directly asking what is utility. C. Expected satisfaction derived from consuming the good. Yes, utility is nothing but the satisfaction only, right? Very direct question. Now we have this question. Vertical supply curve parallel to y-axis. So here it is talking about supply curve parallel to y-axis, yani like this, implies that the elasticity of supply is. So what is the elasticity of supply in this case? 0, 1, highly elastic, less elastic. 0, infinity, equal to 1, greater than 0 but less than infinity. Okay, 27 is done. Now tell me the answer of 28th. 28th question. In this case, when supply curve is vertical or it is parallel to the y-axis, what is the degree of elasticity in this case? What is the degree of elasticity in this case? A, 0. Okay, right. See, vertical means what? Vertical means that quantity supplied is not responding to any change or any level of price of the commodity. So it is inelastic or perfectly inelastic, which is elasticity of supply here is equals to 0, right? Yes. So answer should be A, 0. Okay. Had it been horizontal in shape, which means parallel to the x-axis, then the answer would have been infinite or B. Okay. But here answer is A or 0. Then for a normal good with a downward sloping demand curve. So here you are provided with the condition that the good is a normal good, okay, normal good and downward sloping demand curve. Price elasticity of demand is negative, income elasticity is negative, price elasticity is positive, income elasticity is negative, price elasticity is positive, income elasticity is positive, or price elasticity is negative but the income elasticity is positive. Tell me, what is the answer? You have the normal good, downward sloping demand curve. One part of the answer is given in the question only, right? So when the question says that it is downward sloping, you know that the relation between price and quantity will be negative only, but you have to ascertain the relation between income and demand. What is the answer of question number 29? Let me know quickly. Yes, anyone please. What is a normal good by definition? Normal good. So see, what happens is, when you have a normal good, you have this demand curve, okay, price, it will not touch here, okay. Let me make it again. So this is your normal good. When price increases, quantity demanded falls, price falls, quantity demanded increases. So price elasticity is negative only in normal good, okay. But what about income elasticity? Income elasticity is positive in case of normal good. So this is your price demand curve, but income demand curve will be like this in case of normal good. When your income increases, you demand more of a normal good, and when your income falls, you demand less of a normal good. Similarly, the income demand relation between of an inferior good would be negative, but here normal good is being asked. So your answer should be price elasticity of demand is negative, price elasticity of demand is negative, income elasticity of demand is positive. So D is the right answer. Price elasticity of demand is negative, but the income elasticity of demand is positive, because in normal good, the relation between price and quantity demanded is negative as usual, but the relation between income and demand is positive. So simple, D should be the right answer of 29th. Then, an increase in the supply of a good is caused by, an increase in the supply of the good is caused by improvements in its production technology, fall in price of other goods which can be produced, fall in the price of factors of production, all of the above. Tell me the answer. What will be the answer to this question? What is the answer? 30th ka D you are saying, all of the above. Let's see. So here the question is asking about increase in supply. We have seen that when we talk about increase and decrease in supply, the change is other than the price, in other than the price. So every factor other than the price. When price changes, that would be extension or contraction of quantity demanded. Increase and decrease happens when there is change in factors other than the price. So first is improvements in production technology. Yes, it can increase the supply. B, fall in prices of other goods which can be produced using the same inputs. So when prices fall in the price of other goods which can be produced using, yes. Fall in prices of factors of production use, yes, because it is reducing the cost of production. Land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. When you have to spend less on your factors of production, that means your cost of production declines, and when your cost of production declines, your profit margin increases and you are able to sell more or produce more. So all of the above should be the answer in this case. 30th ka D. Yes, okay. Then 31st. Question number 31. Elasticity of supply refers to degree of responsiveness of a supply of a good to change in its demand, price, cost of production, state of technology. Answer please. Demand, price, cost of production, state of technology. Very direct question it is. What is the answer here? Tell me. Answer to question number 31. It is price. Yes, no need to get confused. Elasticity is what? Change in quantity demanded or quantity supplied in response to change in the price, or it can be income as well, but income is not in the option, so price has to be the answer, right? No need of any kind of confusion here, direct question. So B is your right answer. this is a very smart strategy when you tell me the answer with a question mark. Okay, so you are not answering the question, you are asking me the answer. Okay, yes, B. Then we have question number 32. A horizontal supply curve parallel to the quantity axis implies, so here you have supply curve which is horizontal like this. Okay, what does it mean? That the elasticity of supply is 0, infinite, unitary, or what? What is the elasticity here? 30 seconds. Yes, of course. B, infinite. Price remaining constant, quantity demanded changes, right? Price is constant, but still quantity demanded is changing. Yes, of course. B is the right answer. Infinite. Okay. Then 33. Contraction of supply is the result of. So here you don't have decrease in supply. It is contraction in supply. Okay. Extension and contraction one side, and increase and decrease other side. So tell me the answer. In which case or contraction of supply is result of which of the following? Decrease in the number of producers, decrease in price of the good concerned, increase in the price of the good concerned, or decrease in the outlay of sellers. 33. Answers please. What is the answer to 33rd question? B. Okay, Prashant is saying B. Decrease in price of the good concern. Yes, B. Yes. So B is the right answer, because contraction and extension of demand or supply will happen only in the case of change in the price of the own commodity which is in the question, right? So here we are talking about supply. Supply and price has a positive relation with supply. So price increases, supply increases. Price falls, supply falls. So here contraction, which means that price of the own commodity is falling. So B is your right answer. Then we have question number 34. Quantity purchased remains constant irrespective of change in income. This is known as, irrespective of your change in income, quantity purchased or demanded remains same. Negative income elasticity is less than 1, zero income elasticity, or income elasticity is greater than 1. What is the answer? 34th question. See, zero income elasticity. See, so when we are saying that income elasticity, so here we have income and here we have quantity demanded, and the question is saying that quantity purchased remains constant, which means it is constant whatever the level of income is. So your demand curve in this case is vertical, right? So it means that income elasticity of demand is equals to 0. Yes, C is the right answer, 0. Then question number 35. As income increases, consumer will go in for superior goods, and consequently demand for inferior goods will fall. This means inferior goods have, so this is definition of normal good or superior good, and inferior good given to you. Superior good is nothing but the normal good. Okay. Now the question is asking, what does it mean for inferior good? That the income elasticity of demand is less than 1, negative income elasticity, zero income elasticity, unitary income elasticity. Answers please. Question number 35. What is the answer? Answer to question number 35. A, you are saying income elasticity of demand is less than 1. Okay. B, negative income elasticity of demand. Okay. See, as income increases, consumers will go in for superior goods, and consequently income and demand for inferior goods will fall. This means negative income elasticity of demand. Why it should not be less or more? Because the degree of change is not mentioned in the question, that the demand is changing by how much percentage in response to the percentage change in the income, right? So degree is not mentioned. By how much percentage are they changing? It's just mentioned that it is a negative relation. Are you getting my point? That's why A cannot be the answer here. We have B as the right answer. Had it been mentioned that quantity demanded is reducing by this much amount in response to change in price or income of that product, then we could say that okay, it is elastic or inelastic, right? Then we have this question, last question. Question number 36. A good which cannot be consumed more than once is known as. A good which cannot be consumed more than once is known as. This is another direct question from the series. Very easy. Tell me the answers. Yes. Very good. So B is the right answer. Non-durable, good. Right? Non-durable, good. Durable goods are those goods which do not get exhausted with successive consumption, right? So you can use them number of times, more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But those which cannot be used after the consumption or after consuming at once, that is non-durable. Non-durable. Which would be more elastic? Tell me, durable goods or non-durable goods? We have done this in elasticity chapter. Which is more elastic, durable or non-durable? Tell me quickly. Which one is more elastic? Durable good or non-durable good? Good. I am talking about price elasticity, okay? No idea? See, durable, okay. Yes, in non-durable goods, you don't have the luxury to change your quantity demanded, isn't it? Even if the price is falling or increasing, because it is non-durable, it cannot sustain for a long period of time, or it has a very shorter shelf life, right? So it is not elastic in response to the change in price. On the other hand, the durable good has a longer span of life or a longer shelf life. So in that case, when the price changes, you get to adjust your quantity demanded for durable goods. That's why that would be more elastic. So that is it for today's MCQ session, and don't worry about the PDFs and all. You will get all the questions and whatever the related content is. All right. Any queries, any doubts from this session? Let me know. Otherwise, I'll end this class here. Any questions, doubts from these questions? No doubts? Okay. So since you don't have any doubts, I assume you have understood everything, and we'll meet in the next session, and we'll take up more questions, and you will be given the PDFs as well. Don't worry about that. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. See you in the next session. Till then, wish you a good luck and a good day. Okay. Thank you.